watching The Source on CNN Philippines. I'm Pinky Webb. Our guest today, AFP Deputy Chief of Staff for Civil Military Operations, Major General Benedict Arevalo. General Arevalo, welcome to The Source, sir, and thank you so much for your time.
Good morning, Pinky. Good morning to your viewers and listeners. Nice.
First, I'd like to talk about, General, this program by the AFP. It's called the Tulong Bayanihan Program. From my understanding, this was launched, of course, to help our kababayans who were affected by the recent typhoons. And AFP camps were actually turned into drop-off points for donations. Can you tell us more about this program?
Yes, this is part of our humanitarian assistance and disaster response operation that was actually initiated by our Chief of Staff, General Gilbert Gapay, with the onslaught of the different typhoons that came in our country. So he designated the different military camps nationwide as drop-off points for donations. And these donations will be delivered, and were delivered, and it's being delivered by the different units to the different areas that was affected by the calamity. So they bring in the donations, and then they tell us where they want it delivered, and the military to the different assets we have, air, sea, and land assets, we transport them to the different victims of the calamity.
General, can you tell us what kind of support you got from the public?
We got a big support from the public, considering that we got lots of food items and non-food items coming from the different sectors. We got from the different pure civilians, politicians, non-government organizations, international organizations, where they dropped off their donations to different camps, and about 100 tons of relief goods was delivered last month, and we're still delivering some of it to the different areas now, especially in Cagayan and Isabela. And we also use the different assets.
So you mean with all?
Sorry?
Right. Yes, sir. Yeah, so you're saying that until now, the AFP is still delivering relief to our kababayans in Cagayan and Isabela?
Yes. Some of the relief goods are still coming in, and we have transported at least 100 tons of relief goods already, representing about 75,000 food packs and non-food items to the different areas, including different areas here in NCR, especially in Marikina. This is a continuing program of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, and we are still actually accepting donations up to now.
That's actually what I wanted to ask you, sir, because for those who may still want to help, or in the future, if we are going to be, having problems again with typhoons, maybe in the month of December or January, these drop-off points are still there. And they can still accept donations from the public.
Yes, we still have we call it the Civil Military Coordination Center here in Camp Aguinaldo, and we have contact numbers. We can give the contact numbers for them to be able to coordinate with us or inform us of their intention of giving donations for those who were victims of the disaster.
General, what was the biggest challenge in implementing this program?
Of course, the challenge of the pandemic, in spite of the things we have to do, we still have to maintain the health and the safety of our soldiers, and it's really quite taxing for our soldiers to be doing all that stuff. And we have to do this as part of our mandate to really help alleviate the conditions of our countrymen, especially those who were affected by the disaster. So this is a big challenge. We're doing the operations, and then we're doing also the safety protocols at the same time. and we cannot let our guards down, especially not only in terms of the pandemic, but also for our security. Remember, there are instances that our convoys are being ambushed or being harassed by the New People's Army, and this is quite a challenge for us. But on the overall, we were able to really complete all the job that's given to us.
And of course, we can't forget the kind of rescue the AFP has done to help those who have been stranded. Of course, together with members of the LGU, the police, and the military as well. But also very important is that the AFP will soon be celebrating its 85th anniversary, and it will be, the theme will be Pinag-isang Lakas na maaasahan ng mga Pilipino. General, what kind of celebration do you intend to have this year? I believe this will be on December 21.
A very simple and meaningful celebration of our 85th anniversary. We will celebrate here in Camp Aguinaldo, and it will actually recognize our stakeholders who have contributed to the accomplishment of our vision. And of course, we will try to recognize the gallantry of our men and the excellence of the different units that has contributed to the accomplishment of the mission of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. So this will happen on the 21st of December, and it will be here in Camp Aguinaldo. We are actually inviting the President to be present physically or virtually, and of course our Chief of Staff will be here to celebrate with us.
And this will give thanks and appreciation to the men and women of the Armed Forces of the Philippines who have, of course, worked tirelessly in so many fronts as frontliners amid the pandemic. Of course, because of or due to the recent typhoons, the rescue and relief operations, and of course, soldiers who have continued to ensure the safety of Filipinos from threats.
Precisely, that's why we're celebrating, to actually recognize the gallantry of our men and the contributions that they have given to our country, and also to thank all those who have helped us accomplish our mission, the different stakeholders, the government units, non-government organizations, and the public in general that really helped us accomplish the mandate of the Armed Forces of the Philippines.
AFP Deputy Chief of Staff for Civil Military Operations, Major General Benedict Arevalo. Sir, maraming salamat po sa inyong oras.
Thank you, maraming salamat. Merry Christmas.